Welcome back. Blackwood Tulsa is a creative hub for entrepreneurs and creatives in Tulsa. The co-working space was inspired by the legacy of Black Wall Street and the Greenwood District. Joining us now to talk more about it are the co-founders, Chris Harvey and James Parker. Thank you guys both for being here with us.
Absolutely.
So I'm excited to hear about this. For those who are not familiar, talk a little bit about Blackwood Tulsa, what it is, how it got started, just all of the details that folks need to know.
Yeah. Well, James and I had a conversation around this time last year. We've had conversations for a while, but we were in one of my Airbnbs this time last year and really talked around the need for spaces, for safe spaces for people of color and creatives and entrepreneurs. And we realized we're waiting for those spaces, then we're that answer, we're that blueprint to create those spaces. So that's kind of where it all started. We realized the need for people to have access and opportunity and be able to be safe in that environment.
So how does it work? People call you? Do they email you? I mean, how do you get involved with the two of you?
So they can email or they can go to our social media, Blackwood Tulsa, and then kind of they just get to know us through relationships and networking groups and networking opportunities. And we just meet with them and talk with them and hang out with them and see ourselves come together as a creative group.
We have to talk about the word creatives because that means something. To explain what a creative is.
Yeah, I think everyone has a space of creativity. I think many conversations I have is people, I'm not as creative as you, I don't make the social media videos like you do, but each one of us are encrypted with a space of creativity. And whether in different spaces, different formats, and our job is to create a space where people can tap into that space of creativity in their own lane, in their own light. And I think whether you're an artist, you're an author, you're a musician, you're creative for building something, building structure, building teams, everybody has a space of being creative. But how do we tap into that? So that's our heart, is to really create the environment so you can.
I think a lot of people are hard on themselves and they don't think that they're creative. So we are all creatives in our own way.
Absolutely.
Talk about the name Blackwood, how you came up with that name, what it means.
So when you think of like people of color, you think of just the BIPOC community, and then you also think of Black Wall Street. So when we thought about it, we were like, how do we bring this together with Greenwood, and then also just to represent people of color of all different genres, everything. And so when we put it together, we were like, Blackwood actually works. So it's not as deep, but it also is just like a good way of putting together like Greenwood and then also people of color together.
And that means a lot to you all to be able to tie in Greenwood, Black Wall Street. I love that.
To be able to pay homage to what was in the history and the legacy of the grounds that we step on today, and stand on those shoulders and take the torch to the next level in economic impact.
And right now you don't have a physical place, building for Blackwood, but that's something that's in the works, is that right?
Yes, so soon we'll be announcing a partnership that we have with a coffee shop to kind of create the first co-working space that'll be like after hours. So essentially when they close at 2, we'll open back up at 6 and we'll have a space for them.
I love that. You all have had events, you've gotten together with folks. Talk a little bit more about the events and how those have worked and any more that you have coming up.
They have been phenomenal. I think, like just so many people, our main space for marketing is social media, and people from all the spaces of Tulsa have been intrigued, people we know and people we don't know. As we know, Tulsa's grown with programs like Tulsa Remote and things like that, and to see all these different faces in this place and say, hey, I need community, I need spaces to become, and they've been phenomenal. Our last event sold out.
Literally sold out. It was a community dinner where we had Chef Tiffany Nicole. She cooked dinner and we partnered with her and Dr. View, Stevie Johnson, and it was a great time. We cooked, we ate.
And had laughed too much, had too much fun.
And you're creative.
And we were creative.
There we go.
So to be part of Blackwood, is that a cost? Is it free to folks? I'm sure some of the events there might be a fee for dinner and things like that, but just to be part of Blackwood and work with you guys, is that a free situation?
Yeah, so to be part of the community is free. To be part of the community and to be part of the hub of what Blackwood has created is a free. It's when we start getting into the co-working space, that's when charges will come, or where we have certain events, like when we have Chef Tiffany Nicole cook, we definitely need to charge to make sure that everyone's getting paid. But to be a part of the community itself and the networking group is definitely free, because we want to make sure, like he said, it's create access and opportunity. And we want to make sure they're both together and not just separate.
Yeah, that's great.
I love it. So if anyone who wants to get involved, social media the best way?
Yes.
Blackwood Tulsa on Instagram and Facebook, and blackwoodtulsa.com. Stay up to date with all the events.
Is there anything else that you want our viewers to know that I might have missed?
It's going to be a great rest of the year.
It is going to be a great rest of the year.
We can't say all the details.
Right.
What's
Tell
going to
us
happen.
what you can.
Let's see, what can we do? We have some partnerships in the making that will make sure that the networking of BIPOC community grows and advances more than just Tulsa, but just around the world. So,
Chris, James, I think we're going to have you on more in the future because it sounds like there's lots of exciting things ahead. Thank you both for being here with us today.
Thank you so much.